If you could have one celebrity's fan base, who would it be?
Nicki.
Harry Styles.
Lupe Fiasco.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Oh, Amber, all three of your choices you had to go through either Nicki, Cardi, or Beyonce. You didn't pick the Beehive?
I know. I was thinking about that.
Ooh.
But I'm going to stick strong with what I chose.
Nicki's a good one.
The Barbs?
The Barbs.
I mean, they're long lasting.
The Barbs are...
She's been in the game for 10 plus years.
Yo,
so.
you can literally go into a middle of a forest and somebody will be speaking bad about Nicki and a barb will come out of nowhere with a machete just like...
Dang.
So
no,
like...
not today.
So like no logic, just... We just represent Nicki.
legacy.
Well, she has a
to
strong
death.
fan base. I think that's a fair logic, right? She's been in the game for 10 plus years.
Also, she speaks directly to her fan base. Like, it's not like... For example, the reason why I could have said the Beehive, but like, I'm glad I didn't because Beyonce doesn't address the Beehive at all. Like, at all.
Oh, because she's too...
Up there.
Differently-
Royal.
Right. And it's
She's-
almost like too untouchable in a way that's kind of turn-off-ish.
Really?
A little bit.
Now
it
the
isn't-
Beehive's coming for you.
Oh, sorry, Beehive. Listen, I love honey, but listen. I just think that, like, Nicki, she did Queen Radio. She would be like, all right, Barbs, listen up. Like, it's, like, more direct, you know? And I don't know if you guys are
It's like for them.
It's for them. And she's like, and she's actually yelled at her Barbs, too. She'd been like, Barbs, get here. We need to talk right now. Get in the room. Get all of you. Okay, we are not going to be these people. Like, she, like, even reprimand them. But, like, you know, she treats them like they are her people. And, like, she values them.
Culty.
It is
That's
pretty
actually
culty.
very YouTube-y, if you think about it. The
Yeah.
YouTube community, they know that they have a strong fan base. Like, you know the Nelk Boys, for example?
Yeah.
The Nelk Boys are like, yo, boys, we're about to hit 1 million. I know you guys are going to, like, support this. And they don't have to... If you're an outsider watching that, you're like, okay. But it works. Because they know it makes them feel special.
Yeah.
And it gives them more value.
See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Even I listened to this podcast called Call Her Daddy, and like all of the people who listen to her, they say they're daddy gang, right? So when I find out another person listened to Call Her Daddy, it's not just a conversation of, oh, you listen to Alex Cooper too. It's, oh, you're daddy gang. Like it's like its own thing,
Ew.
and everybody can recognize it.
Is that your second
Sure.
choice?
You know what? I would be daddy gang.
Daddy
Like,
Okay, you picked Harry Styles.
Yeah.
The Stylers, I believe.
Is that what they're actually called? I have no
think so.
idea. I just know
Is that not it?
no,
I'm.
what is it?
What is
I
it?
thought it was the Stylers.
Okay, I have no idea what it is. I'm glad I didn't choose Zayn. Because Zayn, people will flip on him easily.
Oh, the Zaddies.
The Zaddies, they'll...
Wait,
Right? The Zaddies? I'm looking at Nia Theo
Yeah,
over
we're
over
looking
to
at the
see if
interns to
it's
say if
correct or
these
not.
are
I
correct.
think Zaddies is what they call
don't-
themselves.
in Zayners,
But you hear me, right? Like, Zayn's fan base, they will flip on him easily.
yeah,
Like-
but there's also really strong fan
Yeah,
base,
but
too.
like, the Muslim audience.
Muslim audience.
They see one
yeah.
thing, they're like, oh my god, it's over. Like, Harry Styles, does he get that? Like, I feel like...
Yeah, but then they saw Sean Masala and Bella's thing, and they like went so
but
hard.
they'll
for
flip, 50-50.
Sure.
And that's too much anxiety, especially because Zayn, he doesn't perform sometimes. He's like, I got too anxious,
Yeah.
It's Z Squad.
Z
There you
Squad.
go. Z Squad.
What about
okay.
Harry Styles?
But Harry Styles, yeah.
It is... Okay, nobody calls themselves the Stylers, but
Okay.
it is...
According to our interns, nobody calls them the Stylers,
Yeah.
but it's indirect. But he has a good fan base, right?
Yeah.
You guys think like?
I think so because they're very non-judgmental because Harry does things that are out of the box, right? Experimental, if you will.
Yeah.
And they're supportive because they're just like, it's Harry.
Yeah. You chose Lupe Fiasco.
I was going to say Eminem, but Eminem has the worst fan base.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
they're random too.
it's so many...
Okay. At this point, Eminem fans, they'll stand for anything he puts out.
But think about this, right? Stan, that term...
Yeah.
A lot of people nowadays don't even the kids
Know where
don't
it
know
came
where it came
yeah.
from. And back then,
Where does it
being
come
a
from?
stan, I was a stan. I still am a stan, but like back then, well, it's an Eminem song. You don't know Stan?
I didn't know that was
Yeah, a
where
lot of people
it
don't
was
know.
derived from.
So yeah, he has a song called Stan where he has an obsessive fan who's eventually kills his girlfriend and himself because Eminem wouldn't write back to him. It's an incredible video.
Oh, I had no idea that was the origin of it.
Okay.
At all.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
But then I heard this one Lupe song. I don't know why I said Lupe, but this is why, because he said you have to, in one song he goes, you gotta go to Harvard to be a Lupe stan. Meaning
you gotta be intelligent.
You have to be extremely intelligent. And actually, if I relate that back to the things that I value, I would prefer that my fans or my supporters like me because of what I say and create, rather than just obsess over me because I'm me.
What about that?
But that's just my preference.
Frank Ocean's like fan base, because aren't they just like diehard for?
They're way too toxic. They'll boo off Drake. Like,
but I don't know if that's like
I don't think they're legit Frank Ocean fans, but
those are like those fake Supreme community and etc.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But talk about our strangers and the Ronal ponies.
Yeah.
Where are we going with that?
I was trying to cue you in for an intro. But the best fan base is this.
Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in to an episode of Strange Flavors. We're coming live at you all together.
Oh, guys,
we're in person.
Is so cozy.
We started coughing on each other.
I missed you guys.
Sneezing.
Aw.
We're all in person. We have 3 cameras, so shout out the 3 cameras. That's dope.
We got Isan back there.
We got Isan.
And we couldn't be happier to have him, honestly.
He's been... Wait, did I even say our names? We didn't even say our names. I just went in. But my name is Shimmer.
I'm Harvard graduate for us.
My name is Amber.
And we have Isan in the background, who's been helping us with a lot of our clips and videos and stuff. And now we're here in person together.
And he is just like back there being a little tech wizard.
Yep. So thank you so much for
everyone is a tech wizard compared to Amber.
Listen, I'm a tech wizard when y'all are not around.
Yes, but this is the strangest and greatest podcast in the game, and it is brought to you by Alif Theory. If you'd like to email us or send us your music, strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. If you enjoy this podcast, you can listen to this podcast anywhere you listen to this podcast, and you can share it with your friends and tell them, yo, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on a bunch of different places.
Be a toxic fan.
But, guys, today's special because it's our first episode back, and on video, on YouTube, we look super sexy with 3 very expensive cameras right now. We got the iPhone here, we got the Canon right over here, and the Sony.
Wow, look at that setup. That's dedication.
Very
Can't come at us.
cameras.
So if you want to see it, go to the YouTube channel and check out our beautiful faces today.
And I got one to myself.
Yeah, you really do.
Just how you guys like it.
Oh my gosh. This view sucks. Don't look at this view.
Stay off that one.
But yeah, Isan's going to be switching throughout the episode, so I definitely recommend watching this episode on YouTube.
And what a way to start it, but a strange exchange.
With a strange exchange. You guys love strange exchanges, and
we got
love
some
them
good
too.
topics
we
today.
love strange exchanges.
We got a lot of good topics. But you could also, message us and email us on Strange Flavors Podcast, or message us on social media at Strange Flavors on all social media. And if you'd like to be part of Strange Flavors Town, like our wonderful members, Bobber's Bagels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Airhuz Ices, Freehuz Falafels, Uslam's Apples, there is a link down below where you can support this podcast for a small monthly donation and help us, make this set even better.
Ooh.
So, yeah. And we also have an awesome YouTube channel that goes by the name of Ronal Pony. We have a Discord where you can drop in topics, guests, a bunch of things in there, and tell us what you like about this podcast, or if you hate it, or if you listen to it once and never listen again, which someone has done.
Don't forget to review it, because we're going to be reading the reviews soon.
Oh, yeah, reviews. And you can review on Apple Podcasts, so we'd love those reviews.
Yes, sir.
Give it 5 stars.
Give it 5 stars. We also have a Patreon with exclusive content, and who knows, we might drop some Strange Flavors exclusive content on there too sometime.
Yeah, because we're just like toxic before the video starts rolling, but Isan's recording early.
Yeah.
So we might have some toxic clips to put out there.
Who knows?
Well, we do have exclusive merch on the Patreon, and for all of our Strange Flavors Town supporters. The merch that we recently just bought, dropped. We have a special edition pink version of all of that available for the patrons and the Strange Flavors Town supporters. One of you already bought it, so that's awesome. But yeah, look out for that, and we'll be sure to continue dropping more things like that exclusive for you guys. So yeah.
Boom.
Yo.
What's
good? Let's start off with the strange exchange with what's been going on recently. in the news
Or in the world.
They be hating on the Asians.
For what? Like
For what?
like why out of all people the Asians? Come on.
Well,
I mean, okay,
first
nobody.
of all, very,
First of all,
very
nobody.
broad.
First of all, nobody. First of all, nobody. Let me clarify that.
First of all, very broad term there, but basically, there's been a bit of a rise in some hate crimes that are being noticed, because of the recent attack on that. Was it a massage parlor?
Salon.
Where a number of women died, and it was this white guy that shot him down. And basically, like, what's the agenda though that we're recently hearing about when it comes to, you know, this whole narrative?
Honestly, I have a few Asian friends, and I have been noticing for a while now that they have been speaking up on their stories and everything about stopping Asian hate, and that it started at the time of COVID, and that's kind of when the hate started going towards them because they were kind of blamed for the coronavirus, and then it kept going, and it's been heated. I've been seeing them talk about it for a while. So when this incident happened, it was almost like they were trying to bring awareness to it for a while, that like, listen, there is hatred towards the Asian community. Let's stop this hate because it's getting extreme. And we ended up having this incident happen.
But you know what? Like, it is very similar to the whole Black Lives Matter movement, where there's been issues happening for a very long time, went unnoticed. And actually, Isan brought this up, but I saw this on his Facebook as well. He was saying, like, it becomes a sort of movement once there's people who can also capitalize off of it.
That's true.
Which is really interesting, because then companies want to get involved and other organizations and say that we stand with this group because it's the right thing to do. And then they tie it together with something that benefits them.
It's true.
And it's so sad to see that, because, for example, in our community, right? Like, we've known about issues that have happened since 9/11 and before that, and that continue to happen. But we haven't seen that marketable spot yet.
That's true.
And what Isan is saying basically is like, if that day were to come where there's a spot where somebody can benefit off of, standing up for Muslims or South Asians or whatever it is, then we'll be like, wait, this has been a thing. Why is this suddenly whatever? And that's probably how this community is feeling at the time.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? Like,
also sending like condolences to people out there who, feel scared, and the families of the people who died and everything. Honestly, that's a terrible situation to happen, and nobody should deal with that. And especially not a community of people dealing with hatred for something that is not even genuinely their fault.
Yeah, I did see, the group 88 Rising?
Yeah.
They're like a predominantly East Asian group, right?
Yeah.
With Joji and what's his name?
Rich Brian
in them. They posted a yellow square.
Oh, yeah.
And they got so much hate for it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, someone on Twitter was like, please, anyone who posts a yellow square, I'm like deleting you.
Yeah, but it's weird
because
they're...
is weird. Like,
they're Asian though.
Yeah, but that's
so
also like, they don't even... Like, from what I've seen, like, yellow is also, like, a weird association to make. But, like, sure, they might self-refer that, right? But, like, if, for example, like, if something happened with brown people, are we going to put up a brown square?
I feel like we would.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I feel like we would, low-key. Like,
it's like, why are we not allowing that thing to stand on its own and, like, be saying that in a different way? Why are we... Like, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's taking away from Black Lives Matter, but that was a thing in itself. And I feel like the yellow square brings in, like, comparisons.
And people didn't even like the black square. It ended up being, like, not productive, because it, again, became a thing where it was, when it's easy to do something, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can get away with just posting a black square, yellow square, whatever, and then I'm good.
And it's for, like, people showing their friends that, hey, we support this movement, which I think it shouldn't be only that.
It shouldn't be only that, but I'm sure that it helps a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people just do it for clout.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm trying to say.
That's true,
like,
too. They do just
do it for clout. They try to show their audience that, hey, we believe in this, and it might not even be genuine.
One of
But
my homegirls was telling me that like Hinge put out something where they were like, "Stop Asian hate." If there no Asian hate is tolerated on this platform or something like that. And I was like, interesting.
I just think overall, we're talking about East Asians right now.
For sure.
We as South Asians have different things that happen, in this country, or just, I guess Western nations in general,
yeah,
where there's some sort of oppression or discrimination. I just think that Asia as a continent is so OP, overpowered.
yeah,
If we really got together, bro, think about this. India. First of all, India alone.
Yeah, that's a lot of volume.
That's what, 1 point
Volume
something
of
billion?
just people.
It's like 90% of the world, all right?
Yeah.
India. China. Another 1,000% of the world.
1,000%
We're already at
of the
1,090%. Isn't Russia isn't Russia in Asia
Quick
too?
maths.
It's both, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it, the bottom part.
Okay, the whole Middle East, besides the African portion with the small, there's so much.
Wait, Middle East isn't part of South Asia, but yeah.
Is what?
I said Middle East is not a part of South Asia.
Some of it.
No.
Not South Asia, but Asia.
Asia, yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know that.
Like there's some that's part of Africa, a little bit that's part of Europe, but
Yeah.
a lot of it is also Asia. I'm just saying that whole strip, think about this. If we were just like, yo, we Asia, like we could take over not take over the world, let's not do
But,
all that, but
like-
there's just such a difference of, I think it's a religion thing more than anything, because Europe, it's so many Christians, and they all look similar when it comes to like skin color, at least. Not all of them, right? But like Asia, it's so different everywhere.
Yeah.
And so these are like little just completely different groups of people. But if we thought
Let
of
them
ourselves as just,
overpower. We could just honestly create a math equation
because
as a
what
thing
are you
and just
putting
dominate the world
what are you
with
putting
it.
at the end of the day on your little forms?
Ticky box?
Asian American or
Asian.
Yeah.
We're all Asian.
Yeah.
We got to put our heads together. We're OP.
And we're like doctors, lawyers, engineers, like
Yeah.
scientists, a lot of us. So who knows?
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of
Well, yeah, like this country is sourcing, as in the United States, is sourcing everything from those countries over there. Well, everywhere in the world is getting all of their products, services.
I'm pretty sure,
turn around, take off your shirt right now, whoever's listening. Look at the back.
I'm
Somewhere
pretty sure
in Asia.
80% of the things in the studio right now are from China.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, just
Yeah. Or from Asia.
I'm
And
telling
if it's
you.
not from China, it's from Bangladesh, it's from wherever.
Okay,
mess with
okay,
it.
okay. We need to start a different movement where we just like, if you see an Asian and you're Asian, just give them like a little nod and be like, "We got us."
We got us.
Like, forget the South Asian thing, the East Asian thing, Muslim, whatever. Except the Chinese people that are putting Muslims in camps. That's not.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what we call.
That's where we gotta like.
Yeah.
Love having
What's
a
going
live
on,
studio.
China?
Come on.
We're trying to show you. Okay, listen, China. We'll show you some love. Just get the Muslims out of the camps, bro.
Yeah.
But I want this to be what?
I don't know. It was just a strong statement.
Is that not a fair
No,
like?
it was. It was just a strong statement.
Yeah.
But also like
Well,
China, not
most of
Chinese.
China. Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but like, there's
no,
a lot
no.
of Chinese people, like for example, in Hong Kong, that don't want what the rest of the nation wants,
For sure.
and there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that are psychologically oppressed.
Yeah.
So, everybody really, as humans, just wants some freedom and liberty and respect. And if you can respect somebody else for whatever they believe in, as long as they're not harming other people, like, go on, live your life. Let's stand together. But if there's a group of people that are trying to take that away from you, then like, let's link up. What's good? We Asia. We the best like
Yeah.
continent. Are you
Let's
kidding
go.
me? Who's better than Asia?
honestly.
Name one
Facts.
out of 6.
There's 7
Antarctica,
continents.
dude.
I know. I'm saying out of the 6.
Oh,
Name
no, no,
one.
no.
Antarctica.
Antarctica comes with
They
some
have no
smoke.
beef. No beef.
Yeah, Antarctica's chilling.
Peaceful. Yeah, it's
Antarctica,
chilling.
honestly, Antarctica's icy. They
Icy.
chilling.
Yeah, they chilling.
Big chilling.
Not much
Okay.
happening.
I already made that joke. That's why it didn't hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it hit when I said it?
No.
No. Oh my gosh.
What else we got?
I'm just like ready to like fight both of you guys.
Oh my god.
When are you not ready to fight us?
Yeah.
I know, but like right before this podcast, like, man, I get like self-conscious sometimes when I speak to my father around you guys because
She said father.
yes, because when I pick up the phone, I go, Daddy, like that's our way to establish.
Guys,
or he goes,
it's not like that.
or
It's,
no,
It's like-
don't.
it's-
Excuse me, let
hold
me
on,
finish.
Can we do ours?
Daddy?
Daddy?
Oh my god.
G Daddy?
Daddy?
It's not. I didn't do this. You brought this upon yourself.
No, the problem is that when my dad calls me, he goes, Amber, and then when I call him, I go, Daddy. Like that's our like greeting to each other, right?
Daddy?
And so
It's the change in pitch right at the end there
Yeah.
that throws. If you
goes
were
a
like,
little-
"Hey, Daddy," but it's like, "Daddy."
no, it's not like Daddy. It's like it's
You just said it
it's
the
like
same way.
I'm saying it's not like that. I'm saying like like desi people. It's not like Daddy. It's like Daddy, like Deddi.
I know what you're
Daddy.
saying.
Yeah.
So like when I say it like that, y'all want to make it something it's not.
Also, as Desi people, we have like a billion options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
And you chose
white
Daddy.
folk, they
I
got
never
like,
chose it. I was taught it.
Do
we
your
got
brothers
Baba,
say daddy?
Abu.
So my
Papa.
mom raised me and my brothers. She was like Mama, Daddy, right? Then as my
cute. It was
brothers
cute.
got older
I'll
in
give it
high
that.
school,
Yeah.
they just started resorting to Dad.
Okay. And
So
you
they
never
call
made
him
that switch.
And so me, I've always been like his baby, little baby, whatever. Like it's never been that switch.
No, there's plenty of girls that do that, Amber. We're not coming at you for using that exact thing.
No,
it's the way you
the
say
culture.
it.
You
That
just
is
give it
a
too
little-
much power.
Okay, wait.
You give the word too much
Also,
power.
the daddy came like recently, right? Or has it always been a thing? Like I
It's
feel like the
it's
past-
been a thing since I heard it.
Like you guys have been coming at me for this for like 2 years now at least.
But it's like recent, right? It's not like daddy was always the thing. Maybe it was. I don't know.
I've been
But-
saying Daddy, and every time I did, you guys were like,
No. In like social context,
Oh
like
no, I think it's been around.
it's been around.
No,
Like,
it's
in
been,
rap
what are you
music.
talking about, dude?
Like, hey Daddy, like, hey
So the-
Daddy, whatever. But
Wait. Oh, that's what you mean, like
Yeah.
the sexual
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
to
the
say it.
sexual.
Got it.
Like
I
it's
know I did this
wait,
twist.
Has it
Frost,
always
you
been
in
around?
general are putting too much power in it because I'm ready to call you out. Do you remember when you had my phone that one time, and the only way that you would give it back to me was if I called you Daddy?
oh.
So Frost was like, "I'll give you your
and then
phone
she,
back."
and then she was like, she called me Daddy,
I needed my phone.
and then I was like,
No,
which one? Look, this is her.
He
I
was
just
like,
wanna s-
"Hey, I'll give you your phone back. Call me Daddy." I was like,
Okay.
"No."
Also, the funny part was that she had 5 daddies in her phone. 5 labels for daddy.
Confirmed.
I'm not making this stuff up. I don't just come up with this stuff out of nowhere. This is a real occurrence.
It says Daddy and 3 others, but the reason why is
3
that
others named what?
Daddy.
Daddy.
Okay, so then I don't like which daddy is it. So then I'm like, you call me daddy now too. Everybody's daddy.
No, you know when you switch phones, they all add up, so you have like 4 Daddy
Why don't you
contacts.
just delete the old ones?
I mean,
No,
I
it's
just never
different
went-
daddies on different. She got different phones for different daddies.
I'm dead.
Yeah, it's
Oh, this
confirmed.
one. This one's daddy. This one's daddy.
Frost,
And that
if I
one's
did that,
Daddy.
then I better have so much money that like it's not even funny.
I mean, if you see us upgraded in a brand new studio next time,
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was one of the 5 daddies.
Oh,
Anyone
Dad.
who's listening, if you call your dad Daddy, can you sympathize with Amber?
me, please,
Or empathize
because
with
like,
Amber?
listen, I'm the only girl here right now, and it's always like.
It's not the issue.
Actually, also, can we ask the ask the
Niyati
Niyati and
and
Ha-
Hadia, what do you call your dads? This is not dad,
Dad.
Abba or Abu.
So you can't
Do you,
like
do
sexualize
you
that.
sympathize
There's
with
no way
Daddy?
to sexualize that.
Do you
It's-
sympathize with Daddy at all?
Amber, that's not the issue.
That's not the issue. It's
Yeah.
the way that you say.
It's 5 daddies at the same time
Do you
and the
think
tone.
it's sexual how I'm saying it?
Like you can't go Bubba. or you can.
Yeah.
See, the girls don't. The girls
I know.
are saying it's not sexual,
think-
and that
I know. I think that if I have a daughter, she can call me daddy. That's like actually probably not. I'm gonna be.
Isan
Baba,
behind the
but-
camera just pointed at me and said that I'm right. So that means
Wait,
both you guys are wrong.
Can you guys like make the noise like father? Like it just doesn't hit as
But
well
I'm
as daddy.
not. No, it's like in a desi accent almost, like daddy, daddy, daddy,
Amber,
daddy,
Amber.
daddy,
Baba.
daddy.
It's not an issue.
Okay, first
Just
of all,
do you.
that's what I'm
Like those
saying.
don't hit, you know?
You know how
like daddy hits
we
the
were
most.
talking about this, but you know how like in other ones, like in other cultures, they're like daddy,
Papi,
papi,
yeah.
whatever. You
Like
can
papi?
you can never
Yeah, that
call
works.
like your significant other like, hey Abu,
But why?
hey Baba.
That's
Okay,
kinda so
Abu
weird.
is weird.
I know,
that's what I'm
it's
But
so
Baba is
funny.
good. Baba's fine.
Baba,
like,
yeah.
No.
Like what do you say, Baba?
No,
Baba.
no.
Especially if you
don't
say
make
Don.
anything.
It's like a Don.
Look at
type.
that. Look
Baba's-
at Hadia's face right now.
Baba's good.
Baba.
No, Baba's not
Come
good.
here, Baba.
Ew.
I don't like when he said it. I don't like when he said it. It
You
sounded
can
like
definitely not do Abu. Like
You definitely cannot do
that's
Abu or
yeah.
Baba.
Abu is a big no. What is the other one?
Baba, no.
No, Baba's. I think Baba's actually. I
yeah.
think in.
You think you
That's-
can
I
sexually
think that's better than
say
daddy.
no, but
I
you
think
think
it's
you
better
can
than
say
daddy.
Baba sexually?
Also,
I would laugh, but like
I think you can. It depends on who says it.
yeah.
It definitely depends on
Hey
who says
Baba.
it. Not you.
Ew.
Not
Are
you.
you kidding me?
But if I saw the right person say it in a certain way, I'd be like, that works.
Frost, that's weird. That's really weird because you call your dad Baba, so now I'm concerned.
That's fine. My issue with you was never you saying daddy.
Yes, it is.
It never was.
It's just the way you say it.
But I say it and whatever. I'm not going over this again. Just know that Frost says that he wants to be called Baba, but he calls his dad Baba. So that's what we're gonna end that off on.
Yo, it's all good. It's all good. You know what I learned this past week?
Nothing.
Never that. I'm learning stuff today. But
What?
okay, listen. All I want to say is that girls' bodies are fascinating.
Well, no, Frost. I think there's another word choice.
Fascinating.
You had when you began to bring this up, but we said.
Listen, well, I'm going to share what like I learned.
I know. I just was intrigued by your word choice earlier.
I don't remember what I said.
You said
You said
women's bodies are
weird.
crazy.
Oh, crazy.
Okay.
I thought it was
And
weird.
I think that they
Fascinating,
are
crazy, whatever.
fascinating. And
Yeah. I mean, crazy is. I'm not saying like you're.
insane. That's what you mean when you say crazy.
Yeah.
Got it.
My God, I gotta
But
watch everything I
still.
say now.
Yeah, you better
Yeah.
be careful because
I'm not going to. Anyways, okay. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
So women, you know how they like have their periods every month?
no way.
No, I
What
just
does that require?
Wait, you learn something
What is
every
that a
day.
part of?
Okay, I mean people still don't know that, but basically like blood comes out of them every month, right? There's
See,
that.
From where?
this is the
Okay.
R-rated version.
Already like that's insane that happens, right? But I just learned that like they also, you know, like snot.
Yeah.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah. No, I'm just looking at the podcast.
Okay, listen. They basically like snot like once a month too out of there. I don't know if it's once a month, but like it's like goo. Like I saw this on Twitter.
Wait, you saw it?
Yeah, somebody was like,
You saw like someone.
no, like someone had like slime on their hand. Like they're literally sliming every month, right? Like this girl on Twitter had like slime on her hands, and then everyone was like, yo, like they have no idea. I was like, what is it? Did she sneeze in her hand?
Did it look
And
like
then
sneeze,
they were like
snot?
Yeah. And then they were like, it's discharge. Like, what? I'm like, what is this new thing?
Is it update on the girls?
Yeah, like every time you just learn something new about women's bodies that you just... what
Woman
do you
bodies
got- Like,
update.
what's going on in there? We have like two things that happen with us.
Right.
One is growing up and growing hair. Actually,
not
that's
what-
about the only
That's
thing.
not even what I thought you meant by growing up. But okay.
What?
No, like growing, like getting older, like puberty. Our voices get deeper. We grow hair.
Wait, that's a lot of different things, but okay. First of
Okay,
all, you guys sound really ridiculous for like 2 years in your lives.
What do you mean?
What
The
do
voice
you
cracks.
mean?
Okay,
Do
well,
it again?
wait, does that happen with girls?
No.
Yeah, it does.
It
Like
doesn't
you have when you're a baby, you sound different than you when you're older.
No, we don't have
You
that.
sound exactly the same as you
no,
were as
your
like a
voice
kid.
matures, but we don't. You guys have that phase.
Oh, it's, like,
where you
drastic.
guys crack.
It's
where you
drastic.
guys, where your
Oh,
voice
yeah.
drops. Girls' voices
Like
don't
we're like,
drop.
hey, get on my Fortnite.
Yeah,
and
and
then we're
then-
like, yo,
Like the people come
call me Baba.
People during
no.
summer break like you won't see them till after summer break, and then they have like the deepest voices ever. It's like,
Yeah, I
bro,
remember.
what the hell?
I remember when it happened to like some of my friends, and it didn't happen to us, and they were just acting different too. But we didn't understand because we were like, "What the heck happened?" Like,
Okay,
that's
can we
crazy.
get back to the
The goo?
subject on hand? Right.
Honestly, no.
So you guys didn't know that this happens at all?
did you?
As the only female voice on this podcast,
You don't have to say that every time you have an opinion, Amber. You could just have an opinion.
I was having an opinion, but you also don't need to
Not,
point
no, this
that.
is an experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay,
done?
go on.
Okay, all right. No, so I mean, do you guys know why that happens?
Why does that happen?
I want you guys to like guess. Like I'm just like this is a fun thing for me to just like hear.
Well, according to the song WAP,
Okay,
am I onto something?
you're onto something.
You're horny?
Okay, that's okay. Okay, you're not wrong. That's not far off.
Well, okay, so like you get quote unquote wet
Uh-huh.
when that happens, but like this, what I saw on Twitter, apparently it happens. It doesn't have to be like only then.
What
So
about
why
you,
is it
Shamir?
happening?
Anything?
I have no like release some things
Okay.
that might be in the area.
Oh, like bad stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are both right. That was amazing. Good job.
Wait, so
Discharge. Like,
wait,
that makes sense.
You get
Discharge.
turned on and then it releases.
So no, there's two things, right? So a discharge is an umbrella term for anything that releases out of that area.
okay, so it could be like anything.
And not even that area, specifically from that place.
Yeah.
Basically, anything that comes out of there that isn't like your period is considered as an umbrella term for discharge, right? It's odorless, like it smells like nothing, or it doesn't have a foul smell, and it's either clear or like milky like, okay? And for most of the time, yeah, like it
Look at his.
What did we get ourselves into?
like, listen, you guys started this health class, but yeah, so you were right for us.
I didn't learn this in health class. Did you
You
learn
learned
this?
it on Twitter. No, I didn't learn it. In
Yes,
health
you
class.
guys 100%.
Maybe
because
like for
Did you
I
learn this in
remember-
health class?
Isan, did you learn it?
I
no,
rem- I
Isan didn't
literally
learn it in
remember-
health
Known it,
class.
though.
He's known it. He's known
You
it.
know it? Well, he has
Uh-oh.
experience.
He's a smart
Whoa.
guy.
No, but like, yeah, I remember learning this in health class. Y'all probably didn't listen. So like,
maybe.
yeah, of course, you know, you do get wet when you're turned on or whatever, but also, so basically, if you think about it,
Period
a woman's, like, if you really think about it, women literally have an egg every month that like breaks away and dies because it's not fertilized, right? So like after that whole thing happens, you have things that are in your body that are basically harmful to it that it rejects. And it'll like, you know, have a natural cleaning system. So that's basically your body's natural cleaning system to make sure that you stay healthy. And that's so funny that you guys are
That's
like,
just so wild that like there's so many things happening that are just not in your control.
some people can do it. Some people can do it. Some people have it every
You wanna see me
day.
discharge?
Every day?
Some
Wait.
people have it every day, and some people have it like very rarely. There's liners that are made
Wow.
just for discharge,
You know,
for people who are discharging.
it is.
You might get it
a
before or
great
after
thing to
your
be a man.
period. No, it's really not.
I mean,
body,
I'm sure.
think about it.
There's
sure you
Sure, we have
privileges.
discharge, but we're also literally creating an entire human being inside of our bodies.
I think women. That's what I'm saying. They're completely fascinating. But I'm such a wimp to think about me having to like grab a mop and like every single
Okay,
month.
so
be
let's
like,
let's like tone down how much we think is like
no, I know.
leaving out the body.
I'm exaggerating.
because some, you know, it's like sometimes, for a lot of times, it's not even enough for it to even hit your underwear.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's not like this is like dropping out of
Whoever
your
I saw on
body.
Twitter,
It was a lot.
it looked like you ever seen the Kids Choice Awards?
Yeah.
Slime.
You know, like all that slime going everywhere. That's what I was like. Bro, there's a Kids Choice Awards in women's bodies every month.
That's so funny. There's this TikTok, and it was like, this girl had just like had discharge in her underwear, and she said that she was going to hook up with like her whoever she was hooking up with at the time, and he like saw it, and he was like, "Oh, you already finished," and she was like, "No, I just had my natural body situation going on. Like, what the heck?" So
there-
she was so embarrassed that she didn't even tell him. She's like, "Yeah, I did."
Is there anything else we should know? Before I find it on Twitter?
Is there like some buttons that we don't know or like some.
I think you're gonna say something like butt stuff.
Secret
anything
compartments or
else,
something like.
I don't. Do you guys have any? While we're here, do you guys have any questions about periods?
Honestly, yeah, but I don't feel like
I feel like we're gonna find out randomly throughout our lives. Like, oh wait, you guys do this?
I think I'm okay just letting. You know what's crazy though? Like women really just be quiet about it.
Yeah.
You know? Like imagine. Just think about this. If guys had any of this,
we'd be like, yo, dude,
I just had the fattest period, bro. Like, look at my discharge be. Like, shit is crazy, bro. Like, honestly, think about it.
They'd be like, yo, let me use your boxers, bro. Like, shit. Like,
what the hell? All right.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, like somebody might be like,
but we would do that.
You borrow each other's.
No, but if somebody's like, okay, like mine is like, whatever. I could see somebody being like, oh, I didn't have a panty liner or something.
Well, we know where, what kind of, if Shamir was having this, what
Remember when I asked you guys, I was like, what do you guys think periods are? And then you guys had it's on my TikTok somewhere. So if you want to go, like, follow me on TikTok and watch it, you can. But I asked every single one of the Ronopono boys what they thought that period blood was. Like, what do you think that periods are? So I don't remember what you guys said, though. But it was fun.
I gave an accurate answer, though.
You did, I think. Sort of.
Basically, a lot of it is just there for babies or not babies. Like, reproduction stuff.
Fertilization.
Yeah.
Your entire, like, uterine lining sheds to be like, you give me no baby, I dispose of you.
And we out here just, like, carrying on.
Yeah. And
no worries about anything.
Can I just say that, like, for girls, sometimes they get so much. And, like, I really, like, you guys don't know this, but sometimes when we, like, have those weekends where we're, like, getting together to, like, create a lot of content, I'm just, like, hoping and praying that it ends up on a weekend that's just, like, not my body going through something. Because leading up to your period is emotionally draining. You're, like, literally in fatigue. So, like, there's a PMS, which is previous to your menstrual cycle. You have up to 10 days of your body, like, being fatigued, being, like, completely, like, bloated, everything. And you're completely, like, for 1 or 2 days, you're, like, irrational, too, for some people. Then you get your period and you're like, woo, okay, this is done. But now you have 4 to 7 days of having your period. And then finally, when your period is done, and you're not even sure, for the last 2 days of your period, you're not even sure if they're done or not. And then after that, you're like, finally, I am a normal person for a week and a half. It's just like...
That's all you got. Make it count.
A week and a half.
Those are the week and a halves where you're just going off, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like,
let's throw in a vacation. Let's throw in the favorite food.
Do you know
Ladies'
how hard it is
night.
to plan around that? Like, oh my God, it's the worst.
Yeah, but I heard if you're like rooming with someone or like everyone in your house, like you all sync.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So crazy.
Yeah, your like
your
period will
cycles
slowly
sync.
like say for example, you guys are 10 days apart initially, right? And like one might have their period 10 days before. Like each month, your period might get 2 days earlier, and their period might come 2 days later till you're synced.
Why does that happen?
See,
I'm not sure.
I wish Shamir would
it's
sync with
hormones,
me.
pheromones.
He goes to the bathroom like 20 times a day.
Yeah. Why don't you sync with me?
I'm not going 20 times a day.
Drink more water.
Listen, it's a lot, but I mean, I honestly like I love when it ends up being on like a good weekend where it's not, hectic. But then it's like for girls, say you go on a girls trip, and there's more than 3 girls, 100% of the time, at least one person's gonna be on their period, and like you really have to.
Oh, it doesn't sync up that quick.
No.
It's like a lag in it.
Hey guys, we're going on a vacation.
How
Let's
long
sync
It takes a few
up
months.
clocks.
It takes a few months.
A few months.
Yeah.
So like if you're roommates in college, then you could probably sync up.
Yeah, like me and my old roommate were synced. If it's like,
Dude, this is like Avatar. You know, like how they put their tails together, and they would like sync.
Sure.
nobody watches Avatar.
No, not Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar what's his name?
Yeah.
James
The
Cameron
blue
movie.
movie?
The blue, the blue aliens.
The tails. Yeah.
I didn't watch that either.
Like that's kind of like romantic and shit.
I mean, I guess
on its own, like not in a
on a friendship level.
on a
or, like,
friend.
synced.
I guess that's not romantic. Then, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of beautiful. Like
I guess so.
Like we synced. How do
You
I
know
leave
what?
you as a roommate?
So you think that until you're in a workplace. I worked in an all-woman environment.
Oh, so all the women are going through the same thing?
Imagine that.
Wait, but
listen, I worked in a school for 10 years with only female coworkers. I only had female coworkers, no male coworkers. And like teachers who'd be in the same classes would be synced, they'd be fighting, they'd be irritated. Or the thing is, like, the first day or two of your period for a lot of people, a lot of women that I know, is miserable. Like, even like, again, like I've been around you guys sometimes and I'm like, I've like gone upstairs to your mom and just like complained to your mom and be like, I'm like dying, and she'll like bring me like medicine and shit. But like those days are very difficult. So imagine having two people literally having like feeling like you're getting a knife stuck to the bottom of your stomach repeatedly while getting a fever, getting, you know, not honestly being immobile. That's the best word to describe it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's either
good to be a
that
guy.
or painkillers. But at the same time, we birthed you.
You didn't.
We birthed you. I spoke as a woman. We birthed you.
That'd be crazy if like they all synced. Like
The whole
like a
world?
universal sync.
Y'all don't want
like
that.
if you work with those people and then you come home and your family is on the same cycle, then like how far does that net go, you know?
I mean, I wonder if you're just like constantly in a cycle of everybody just syncing with each other then. Like, does me being with my...
Oh, it's
Calibrate-
a time zone
calibrate.
thing.
It's a time zone.
like me syncing
Like
with
if
my
you're-
coworkers, coming home, and my cycle being synced with them, is that now changing my, like, whoever is a female in the house's thing? I never thought about it like that before.
Because we're all born at the different times, so maybe it's all just trying to sync.
Wow. That's
Wow.
crazy.
It's definitely something that is just one of those like biological miracles.
Yeah.
That when you think about it, how crazy our systems are, and like when you watch, forget a keynote, like you watch these technology keynotes and stuff, and you're just like, oh my god, such amazing technology. Like, bruh,
Look at the human body.
look at the human body.
That's the
It's
same
crazy.
thing with like breastfeeding. That till this day mind blows me.
Amber, I'm not ready to.
That's fine.
We're
That's
gonna
fine.
go through
I've had
every
enough.
body part
No, I'm
in
just
this
saying.
podcast.
I'm just saying that like.
But yes, you're right.
That's one of those things that even though I studied it and everything for years, I'm always like, whoa, that's insane.
Yeah. Shout out to the girl on Twitter that
Shout
has
out to girls,
expanded my
because
mind.
we go through a lot, but we have to act like it doesn't affect us
Amber,
at all.
The Women's Day is over.
Are you done?
What was it? Women's Appreciation Day?
International Women's Day.
Oh, was it just a day? I thought y'all get a month or something.
It's Women History Month.
Oh,
History Month, not like.
who's your favorite historical woman?
Ooh, who's my favorite historical
All
woman?
right, just give me like an answer. I wasn't like being super serious about it, but
So if I think about it really hard, I'd have to say Nicki Minaj.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. She just
All right.
did so much for women and overall, you know?
okay, you actually don't have one.
No, I mean, like, what am I going to say? In school, we're literally...
Hassan's dying over there.
Go ahead, Hassan. What is it?
No, he's just dying.
Like, I want to say, like, something like, when you think of Women History
She says
Month
Hillary
in
Clinton.
school, they're literally taught, like, Amelia Earhart, like, those types of historical people. That, like, the first person to, like, first woman to fly a plane, the first woman to do this, first woman to do that. So I don't know if any of them resonate with me personally. I just, like, appreciate them as a whole.
Yeah. Do you have any historical, like, man figures?
Man, I think there's so many. I'll say a woman though. I think Benazir Bhutto, like
Okay.
who was the
R.I.P.
Yeah. She was great for Pakistan. Just like my mom was talking about it the other day and how much people loved her. And she, like, her family is
Benazir
basically
Bhutto or Princess Diana?
well, both, but
I'm just kidding.
no, I think it's cool to hear when everybody in the nation feels strongly towards a woman. But
Yeah.
of course, you have that still, like people that can't take
Yeah.
a woman being in power in that way.
So sad.
And so yeah, she got shot, but her legacy lives on, and people love her still.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
You have a TikTok up on your
I have a TikTok because, sometimes you see TikToks and you're like, I see a lot of people really excited about this, and I'm really not.
Okay.
I saw this TikTok of this dude, right? How I got the girl of my dreams. Dude's like out of shape, right? And he admits he catfished this girl.
Oh, I saw this.
You saw this?
Yeah.
And he catfished her using old pictures of himself
No
When he was
way.
jacked.
when he was jacked. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm looking at the TikTok right
so
now.
whenever
This is
he would
insane.
whenever he would FaceTime her, he would only do an angle that really worked so that she would still believe that he still has that body, right?
Oh my gosh.
And then so they basically ended up together, And he eventually told her that, you know, I was catfishing you the whole time. And she accepted him. Okay. And then later on, he said that, okay, well, now I'm going to get back into shape with, like, for you or whatever.
So that she can fall in love with the guy that she originally
did. Yeah. And he said, I don't want to be the catfish boyfriend anymore. Okay. And everyone in the comments is like, oh my God, like, you know, you really came full circle and like, this is great and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know. If I was a lot, well, you guys tell me, because I just feel like if I was lied to about anything,
Yeah.
it's just kind of annoying. And the thing is, he wins no matter what. Like, well, we don't know if there was like a, hey, like, I don't like you did that, and that type of a conversation. But from the TikTok, the information that I've gathered, I'm not a fan of the applauding this act.
Yeah. I think it's like similar to applying for a job. You know, like when you're applying for a job, you're not like
foot forward.
No.
You put your best foot forward, right?
Because you never knew.
What?
Go ahead.
Like
are you saying that you don't have a skill and you say that you do, and then you end up learning it?
You could have partially know that skill or something. Like you put a lot more, and then once you get into it, you're like, okay, like you definitely feel like you deserve that job, or you aim higher than you think you deserve, and then once you get that job, you better pull through. And if that job works out, awesome, amazing. You got the job of your dreams. You work really hard at it. Great, amazing. And this happens in relationships all the time at a small, minute level.
Yeah,
when you meet a girl, when you meet a guy, everyone's like more dressed up. Everyone's more like, you know, oh yeah, I do this at my job.
Actually, I like to start at a lower standard.
I mean, that's a great way. I believe in that too. I would love to do that too.
Because I think that that's an insecurity, right? What you're saying?
Most people do this.
I think the difference is, I think that when you do it for a job, it's not you're insecure about it. I don't think that you're insecure that you don't know a skill or whatever. I think you're just trying to get the job and you'll learn it anyways. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to work hard. I'm going to prove myself. When you're doing it in this way, like, why did he have to do that? Because he's insecure.
Clearly. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I think when you start off the bat with, if you're saying in your conversation, like, you're trying to impress the other person by compensating or something for things that you might not have or have yet.
Yeah.
Versus starting off with, like, this is who I am, and then telling your goals and being like, whatever. I know that that's not how it works out every time. Okay, go ahead, Amber.
How long was he catfishing for her for? Why didn't he just start when he, like... he would never have to even say this to the world if the moment that he sent her that picture, he just started being that same person again, like, worked out really
I don't know what this is, but the first comment is, if Weird Champ was a person.
Weird Champ.
I don't know, but that just sounded funny to me.
But here's my thing, is that I feel like guys sometimes assume women to be more shallow than they really are. The fact of
You
the
said
matter,
women assume that about men?
No, I'm saying
Guys.
that men assume that about a woman, that they're more shallow than they actually are.
That
Like,
women are more shallow?
yeah,
Oh.
then they, like, you know, we're not actually as shallow as men.
Like the
perceive us
physical
to be.
appearance will ruin everything.
Yeah, or like, you know, oh, you only want to, like, you guys have said to me too, like, oh, you only want a guy that's tall, you probably want XYZ, you probably want XYZ.
we know you don't want a guy that's only tall.
I know, but you guys have said it to me before. We're like, oh, Amber probably wants like da 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 da.
Oh, well, that was probably a joke.
Right. But the point is that, like, women aren't that shallow. And I think that a lot of times, and I'm not speaking for all of women here, but, like, we fall in love with the heart more than the face sometimes. And I do think that we can, like, become attracted to you after we fall in love with your personality.
You know why that is?
Why?
Because guys are that way. Because guys are appearance first. And so they probably think that, oh, if I think this way, then the girl probably thinks
that's why they go to
Interesting.
that's why they go to the gym all the time. A lot of them, they get jacked for girls, but end up the guys notice them getting more jacked than the girls actually
Right.
do.
Like,
That's true.
the compliments you're getting at the gym, if you're a guy, are mainly from guys.
Yeah.
It's not from girls.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was talking to this girl recently, not like talking, but like a friend. And she was telling me that, like, she doesn't know why she attracts a certain type of guy. And they were all kind of jockey.
Yeah.
Right. And she's like, I don't know. I'm not even into that. Why do I attract that?
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, what are you into? And then she was like, I think I would go for like a nerdy kind of guy, like someone who's really into what they're doing or something like that. And this was my assumption. I was like, maybe it's just who's coming up to you. And it's not, you know what you want. It sounds like you know what you want. You don't want this type.
Yeah.
You don't want the big jockey type of dude. You want Silicon Valley, like,
Yeah.
or not even that necessarily, but just like somebody who's really passionate about something that they do, or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's an interesting sort of thing to think about.
Yeah.
I think that was a good point that you made, that guys look at it that way first. Because to be honest, I think, like, in my past relationships, I've always fallen in love with a person and then found them to be attractive after I've liked who they are on the inside. And so their appearance came to me secondary. Although now that I'm older, of course appearance matters. It really does, because I think it's important to be attracted to someone. But I think that to that extent, he could have, just been like, hey, this is me, whatever. And she could have very much just, clearly it's not that big of a deal if she was willing to be with him, regardless of the fact that he was big or small. But the fact that you had to go out there and try to put on this fake front first, it shows that you're less genuine of a person to put on this front than it would have been to just be like, yo, like, this is me right now. Hey, if I met a guy who was like, hey, I'm a little heavy right now, but I'm trying to get in the best shape of my life, and I see putting in effort, that to me is so attractive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, even though you're not exactly where you want to be, you're putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah.
That's
I
perfectly fine.
respect both of them for being honest at the end.
Yeah. For me personally, like, I like being honest in the beginning, like straight up. Just
So then you don't have to deal with it later.
so you don't have to deal with it later. Do you like me? Yes. No.
Well, that's growth on your part, right? You're at a level where you have either gone through something where you realize that it's better to be honest up front, or you have learned from other people's stories and experiences, or you didn't just decide that. Like, you were given some sort of an example or seen something that you liked, that eventually you were like, that's how I want to do things.
Do you think that that's the best way to go about it, though?
No. Definitely not.
I was going to say...
Wait. Being honest from the beginning is not the best way to go about
I
it?
think that sometimes people take that to be, quote, like too honest. So they end up telling all of their negative things that sometimes the other person might not even perceive to be as negative. But because they're given too much information up front, they are then scared off.
For me, I just don't want to waste time. And so...
Well, you don't have to be revealing of everything. Just honest. Like, if you're asked, you don't have to be like, so this is everything I've gone through.
Yeah.
This is blah, blah, blah. Like,
I murdered someone else.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't know. I just feel like...
You like to put everything out on the
table? You
table?
can kind of sell yourself the first date. I feel like there's room for that. And I feel like I just don't personally do that. But I feel like, you can, flash yourself, be flashy a little bit. First date, I think that's fine. Like what this guy did, not for like 6 months, but I think not catfishing, quote unquote, but the job interview example. Like, I think you can do that first couple of days, first 2 days.
Bro, the job interview is not the same thing.
It's very similar.
I don't think so.
It's very similar.
I think it's
I
because
see
if
where
someone
you're coming from, I don't fully agree.
If someone came to me and said, "Yo, I want to work for you," right?
Yeah.
And these are all the things I can do, just to get the job, just to get their foot in the door, and then I'm like, "Okay, show me," and then they're like, "Give me a week or something." I'm like, "Oh, so you like lied?" And they're like, "Listen, I'm very capable, blah blah blah." I'm just like, "All right, you have 1 week to prove yourself. I don't care."
He basically proved himself.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened.
Or is proving himself.
He's proving himself.
No.
Like, she has...
That's okay.
So,
if this guy,
that was his intention, like,
if this guy had
let
been
me do
doing,
that.
if this guy who's applying to work for me, right, was getting his work done by someone else, okay, so I'm getting submitted that work, and I'm like, oh, this is really good, and then he's like, okay, like, listen, that wasn't my work the whole time, but I can get at this level. I'm gonna make an attempt. I'm gonna be like, get out.
That's
Go
lying.
get me.
That's
Go
lying.
get me the.
Reason
Go
why-
get me the guy who's actually making the work.
That's lying. And if a guy was lying to you or a girl was lying to you, you'd be like, get me the real girl that's actually doing the effort.
Well, I don't know how I would react in that situation.
Yeah, but that's lying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lying.
That's lying. And you'd
Yeah.
want the other person.
Yeah, but lying is not the same across the board.
But in those two situations, they're the exact same.
I'm glazing over. I've like completely disassociated from this conversation.
But in
Where
those two
are we?
exact situations, they're the same.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sliming?
I am not sliming, but thank you for your concern.
I'm gonna check up on my girlfriends from now on.
Yeah.
Like, you having
You
a slime?
sliming?
Listen, I understand. I read all about it on Twitter. Okay, and we had a very thoughtful, educational conversation
Just
on the podcast.
ask her if she's okay if she sneezes on her period.
Okay,
That's
Amber.
when you need to ask.
Amber, if this happened to you, a guy you had been talking to, nice body, you like his personality, tells you, "Yo, I'm actually 400 pounds." Okay,
I'm
he wasn't
blaming this
400
girl.
pounds.
Why
but
wasn't she asking to see his body on FaceTime all these months?
She don't care about that.
No, but that's what I'm
that's a
saying.
weird thing. I wouldn't ask that.
Yeah.
No, not like.
What about height?
But like, if you notice, like weirdly, that it's just
That
like.
happens all the
Excuse me,
time.
I am in love with you. Can you show me Bob's? It's gonna ruin the whole thing.
listen.
It's like, why you want to see that? What you trying to get into?
No, but like if you'd notice if a guy is like, hey, like, you know, just like all up on your face only. But okay, here's my thing is that, Shamir, I agree with you to an extent where it's like a job interview. The problem is that in that case, if that was his mindset from the jump, like, oh, I'm going to show her these pictures, and by the time that she sees me, I'm already going to be at that level, so it doesn't matter. But he didn't do that. He didn't have that intention from the jump.
No. In the job, a lot of the times you don't get those skills right before the job. You get the skills during the job, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's like, I got this job.
Yeah, like
So-
Shia
I'm gonna-
LaBeouf.
So
He
I
didn't
guess
know how to
in my
ride a horse for a
perspective,
movie role, and then he
would've-
learned to ride the horse on the movie.
Movie role, yeah.
Because it was too late. They're like, we already casted him.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I, in my opinion, I think that this guy should have already gotten to that point by the time that he met her.
I agree too.
Or should have had that mindset from the moment that he sent those pictures. Like, okay, now let me go be that role.
Yeah,
play.
and that's how all job applicants should be, but they're not.
We're off the job application,
But they're not.
Shami.
They're not.
But the thing is that
Like, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. These job applicants don't have this
you're
requirements.
being what Frost was
and then,
last week with
and
the,
then once they get the job, then they try to fulfill that role.
whatever that
All
was.
I know is I wouldn't care about the job thing. I would care about the relationship thing.
Like
I just
what?
think the only reason why it would bother me is not because he's a bigger individual at the time or whatever.
It doesn't have to do with that, right?
I think it's like, why were you trying to be something that you're not? Why were you not being honest? Why is it that you were trying to put up this front? Do you not think that you are capable of being loved at this size? Are you insecure? Like, there's a lot of deeper issues here than just, oh, you're bigger than you were before.
And it was comforted. It was
Yeah.
shoved under the rug because he's like, oh, but I'm that now. Problem solved. And we don't know, again, we don't
Yeah,
know the
we don't know.
conversation.
Yeah.
We don't know the intentions. And by posting this, maybe...
Let's invite that girl on the podcast.
Right on. Maybe by sharing this, it was something where he's owning up to it or whatever. If, again, that's the right intention, then I respect it. I think it's like talking about the situation, just... I was thinking about like, man, I don't know how I would feel if I was-
Promote honesty.
Yeah.
Promote honesty.
Like from the jump, not from the
Yeah.
jump or whatever.
Like if their intention was like, oh, if we post this, it's a good story, we'll get clout. Then it's like you lose again.
And what if he doesn't get jacked? Then all that is gone for nothing. Because right, he was like, I'm gonna get jacked for
I'm
her.
going to, yeah. He's working on it.
Yeah, but what if
Yeah.
he like never
But
does?
if he's like, oh look,
So
you
it's just
accept
for
me for
clout.
me. Back to that.
Because I don't want to be a catfish. At least it was him. At least he catfished with his own pictures. I'll give him that. If we have to give him anything.
TikTok ruins certain things
Like what?
for people. Well, songs, just to be generic with it, but certain songs, like you hear them too much.
Has it made a good song bad?
No.
A good song bad? Well, yeah.
What?
What song?
When there's songs that I like, for example, there's been this Eminem song that's been
Oh
used.
yes.
Fack.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even like a song that I like, but I remember it when it came out. I was like, this is so bizarre.
Yeah.
What's
And-
the lines that's going viral?
You used it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then you shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
And
that
like that's
trend.
such a dumb part of the song, but
Yeah.
like if you heard the song, you'd be like, okay, I'm not using this song because he talks about shoving a hamster up his butt and
What?
yeah.
You reacted to that,
That
Amber?
particular sample is very explicit.
What's that?
Like, that particular sample in the TikTok people using is very explicit. But
Yeah.
people don't know the context.
Yeah, people
What
don't know
is-
the context.
Wait, what is the context?
Well, I'm telling you, it's from a song that he did on it was like a Curtain Calls album. It was like a bonus song. and it was just very explicit.
How is
Old
Eminem
Eminem.
just like casually talking about shoving hamsters up his butt?
Oh, then
Amber,
you
you
never listened to
reacted to
Eminem
this.
because
You use this sound.
you used the
I
song.
didn't know the
Wow,
context. It was
Amber.
a TikTok. Listen, I am not claiming to be
This is
something that I am
this is
not.
little kids when their parents are like,
He
"Honey, why did you
said
use?"
He is about to
Shove a.
Yeah, he was about to
No,
shove
no,
things.
Not that. Not this one.
Oh yeah.
What
I'm
are
about
those?
to blow. Basically, I'm about to have a discharge.
Nope. Let's not do that because those are not equivalent.
Yeah, she sounds like one of those kids who like their parents are like, "Honey, do you know the song you were using on TikTok, WAP?" And then she's like, "I didn't know the context." Okay, so Kid Cudi, he was on Twitter, basically saying, "I don't like what they did to my song on TikTok," and it was
Day and night.
it was day and night, but
That was such a good trend. What do you mean?
what was the actual lyric that he was saying? Now look at this.
Now look at this. Yeah.
Right? And then it would just cut off his vocals, and then it would be some sort of trend where the music was just playing, right?
Yeah.
And he was upset about that. And people were like, dude, you need to calm down. Like, your song's being used, whatever. And then eventually he apologized for it because he's like, I'm not trying to hate on the community.
Yeah.
He said, I want to make things clear, and this is the last time I'm address it. The media has misconstrued my words. I'm not pissed or angry, as some articles are saying. I don't have a problem with TikTok at all and what kids do on there. When Memories and the Scots went viral, blah, blah, blah. When I made Day and Night, I wanted to help people. As long as it helps people, I'm paraphrasing, then it's fine. Do your thing. He said this on, he posted this on
So it sounds
Twitter.
like you should have never said something in the first place. Because, like, what are you mad about?
He's just speaking his mind.
Yeah, well, I think he has a point. As an artist, it would be kind of annoying. I think on his trend, it wasn't as bad.
It wasn't. It was now look at this, and then they showed a video that they thought was really cool.
Yeah, but I
But
think
TikTok is about sounds. If you don't get TikTok, then I feel like you
No, he did because he's had multiple songs blow up
yeah
on there.
True.
So he didn't say anything. Like he
No, but he
vibed with
doesn't.
it.
But she might be right. He doesn't get like TikTok how it works.
Yeah.
or
We
the
just
culture,
need-
or like
we
But like
just
trends.
he's
need the
had
sound.
songs and he didn't
Yeah.
mind it, but he's just speaking his mind out on this particular.
It might
track
have also been that somebody sent him something, or he saw something where it was used, that same trend on
in a
something he
messed up
didn't
way,
like. Yeah,
like a messed up way, which probably happens a lot.
and that's not in your control.
yeah.
But
But also, like, you're an artist, you put it out there, now, like, relax. Like, it's going to be, like, the internet is, like, so resourceful, and they will do anything with everything. Like, just relax.
well, I think that on his point, again, like majority of the TikToks, they're fine. But if it was a song, for example, imagine you made that song that's like, oh no, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no, and it was like a masterpiece for you,
Yeah.
and then it's being used in like a comedic way, then
Okay, but literally, like, the amount of exposure it got should
I know, but
become-
if as an artist,
as an artist, he doesn't care about exposure. I mean, like, yeah,
So
sure, to a certain
imagine
extent.
it's like somebody, like, you know, being like really sad about something. It was like a really like emotional song or something, right?
Yeah.
And they flipped it around and made it like a joke. Perhaps I could understand that.
and that's exactly what happened.
that's how
but
he's
in this
talking
case, all they're doing is using the words like word for word.
we know.
Yeah. but
We
he
know how it's
doesn't.
used, but
Yeah.
I think that whatever he saw, he didn't like because he obviously has a huge attachment to everything on that album. Like, imagine if Michael Jackson, right? We know the most famous album is
he's
his Thriller
just
album,
tossing
right?
and turning too much at night.
What?
Toss and turn and keep no. Okay, it missed the mark. I'll just shut up. I just think he's thinking too much into it. Is my point.
I know, but I'm saying,
And that's
imagine
literally what
such
the
a.
song is about.
We didn't have this back in the day, where like, imagine the Thriller album that everybody knows is untouchable, iconic, forever made its mark in history. If you just had, like, imagine if years from now that people remember, yo, it's that TikTok song. That's like,
I hate this.
Yeah.
I would
conversation.
not.
No.
I mean, okay, look, first of all, he just tweeted.
Yeah.
Any person can tweet.
Sure.
The articles are misconstruing
blowing it up, right.
and blowing it up.
Right.
He literally said, "This is just a tweet. Like, this is how I feel. It
he
doesn't
has
matter."
a right to feel that way. It's not that
It doesn't matter.
Take it
I
down.
Yeah, like,
I'm suing TikTok.
Yeah, he's not saying anything. He's just like, it's a tweet. Is he
Yeah.
not allowed to tweet?
You're allowed to
know.
have an
He's allowed
opinion.
to-
You're allowed to voice your opinion about
Yeah,
it.
but the fact that tweet then lands us to this conversation of TikTok
Because of
will
the
ruin
articles.
songs. So
well, yeah, because what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I actually agree with him to an extent.
I don't know. I just think if you're something exposure, you put it out there for it to get exposure. No, just shut
No,
up.
no. You're wrong about that though.
Yeah.
Most like.
But what I'm saying is it's not in your control.
I know,
About
but like you don't.
what people are going to do.
A
with
lot
it and
of
how it's going
artists,
to go.
a lot of artists don't put anything out there for exposure. They're happy if it gets it, but that's not why a lot of them do it. And Kid Cudi, if you've listened to him and his interviews over the years, you know that he cares deeply about his art. And we were talking about fan bases earlier. He cares really deeply about the people that he's impacted through his music and his art. And I just think that he has a point. That it's a fair point to have.
And I think it's just a tweet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think it being just a tweet and it being blown up is like
But it's a good. All I'm saying is it's a good commentary on the sign of the times.
Yeah.
Where this is the impact that a platform like TikTok can have on an artist.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I also do see Amber's point. Like, it may help other people that are using a sound. Like, it's still doing its job in a different manner. I don't know.
That's that's a stretch.
No, I feel like that's a stretch on the other way. I feel like this way is
But I also understand
more
that too.
regular.
You're gonna watch a TikTok now. Look at this and be like, "This song changed my life."
No, okay, obviously not that one, but there's you remember the songs like "Look at you doing so much better," da, 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 da. "Look at you doing way better," and all out of your fence. Your edges came back, and your ass is getting bigger. Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? No, the girls will know what I'm talking about. Hopefully.
And your ass is getting bigger.
No, it's like it's a song.
Oh my god, it's just so
No, it's a song called "Do Better," right? And it's like about this guy. Listen, follow along. Don't be so judgy in your facials, okay? Relax.
I'm going off of what you gave me so far.
Just because you have a camera just for yourself doesn't mean you need to go all off with those facial expressions, okay? On youtube.com/strangeflavors. Anyways, my point is that there are songs that like people will catch through TikTok. And then you'll be like, oh, I relate to that. So like when I heard that song and I was like, you know, it was like around the time that seasonal depression hit hard for me. And I was like, and it was like, obviously not every lyric in a song is going to be the most inspirational, but the overall message was nice to hear. And I came across it on TikTok. And like, I had that song playing straight for a week just because it put me in a better mood.
Agreed. That absolutely happens. It's just interesting that it also has this crazy influence on, for example, the Grammys. All of those songs that were in there, it could have been a coincidence, but like honestly, it was all TikTok songs. The biggest songs on TikTok were all on the Grammys. Besides The Weeknd, of course. But anyways, what else we got? Okay, why don't you do your little story and then we'll close it out.
Oh, okay.
For the day.
Oh man, where do I even start with this mess of a story? Okay, so
your ass is getting bigger. I'm shedding tears. I can't wait to watch that TikTok so it changes my life too.
You're doing the most. Okay, so
what an example she picked too.
Listen, I was trying to think of the.
I'm telling you, people, she does it to herself. I'm not whatever you want to call me.
Terrible.
Misogynist.
I didn't want to say that word because that's too much.
I called your bodies fascinating, and this is what I get.
You said crazy. Anyways, so I'm here back at it again with another gym story. So I go to this gym that's in Baltimore. So it has like a pretty good amount of people from, you know, my community mosque and, you know, the people I grew up around. Like sometimes you'll see a fellow brown person my age working out there or whatever. And side note, it's very funny that like sometimes like dudes will give you more props when they see that you're like going ham in the gym. Like I just noticed that like the more I go to the gym and like I'll just be minding my business, not talking to anybody, doing whatever, and like for some reason like that alone gives them mad respect, which is, I don't know, a weird thing.
I don't know if it's respect.
From what I can get from them, it's like, oh, they're like, yo, like I really respect what you're doing. Like I see you doing your thing. Like not everybody's doing that.
I think you're.
It's not saying they're hitting on you, but
I think you're 80% innocent.
But I also like some of these dudes like are in relationships or married and stuff too. It's not always like that.
Oh, that has no factor.
That don't mean a thing.
Amber, you're young and innocent.
I don't.
Okay, let's say for the story that they're
okay,
just
fine.
Okay.
They respect you.
They respect.
Okay, whatever. You know.
This is me not being a misogynist here.
Okay. Listen, so like apparently in this situation, this guy saw me quote unquote doing my thing for a while, and he finally comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, da 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 da." Actually, the first thing was, it was kind of weird. This guy pulls up next to me in the parking lot, and he was like, "Hey, like, I saw a taco on your story, like a burrito taco. Like, where'd you get that?" Sparked up a conversation from there, right? He's like, "I really want it, da da da, this and that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I tagged it in the caption. Like, you can go see it from there." Then he was like, "If you don't mind, I really need to like talk to you about stuff, just because like I feel like you'd be a good person to come to about this." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And like that's not a weird thing for people to say to me, because I feel like a lot of random people like say that. They're like, "Oh, like I feel like you might be a good person to talk to about this."
Innocent.
No, it's like, even no, but a lot of girls do it with me too. They'll be like, "You're not."
Girls these days, innocent.
Oh my god.
I'm
Anyway,
just saying.
you're not wrong, but then you're also very wrong. So then this guy was like, "Hey, you know," kept like checking with me. He's like, "Do you mind if we talk? Would you mind if we talk?" I was like, "Okay." And then he was like, "You know, I just wanted to say I'm sorry." I was like, "Fam, you just started talking. What do you mean? Like, what
Is
are you
this
sorry?"
Akon?
And
Song reference. Sorry.
okay. He's like, "I'm just want to say I'm sorry." Oh, got it. And then I was like, "For what?" He's like, "You know, back in the day when you were the president of the MSA, I actually saw you and I inquired about you to another individual in the MSAs. And I was like, hey, like, you know, maybe I can, you know, express interest in her." And that person had said to me, "No, you don't want to do that because she's out there and she like drinks and stuff. So like you don't want to do that. And I just want to say I'm sorry for judging you without actually knowing you."
Dang.
And I was like, wait, first of all, like on a complete side note, I never drank. Like that's just like a weird thing for somebody to throw out there, like, "Oh, she's out there and she drinks." So it's like funny that they make a connection in general from you just being not like a hijabi or not whatever, and they automatically make an assumption that you do all these things. Whatever.
Wait, someone wanted to recommend you to somebody, or
So
they wanted to
this
recommend?
guy, the one who came up to me at the gym, wanted
Interested back in the day.
Was interested in you.
Yeah,
back in the
he
day?
said that he inquired about me to another individual, right?
Oh, from another individual.
To another individual, like, "Hey, like, what do you think about her? Like, should I go ask
Okay.
her out?" And that person told him, like, "Oh, she's
She
out
drinks.
there and she drinks. Like, you probably don't want to do that." She's
Okay.
like out there, right?
Okay.
And that term "out there" like is a trigger for me, because that's like how I've been described in the community. Forever. Outgoing, but that's not how
Vocal.
it's perceived. See, that's the thing.
Out there seems like you're like like you are crazy, like in a different way.
Like I'm wild. I'm
Wild.
out there. That's kind of, and it's always
Not
out
wifey
there.
material.
Not wifey material. And
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that was a really good way to put it. And he was like, "You know, like I have talked to you a few times, and like," and then he said this weird thing. He was like, "I prayed on it last night." Is that weird? Isn't that weird? No, okay.
Wait, he preyed on?
He's like, "I saw you working out yesterday,
prayed on
and
who?
I had a short conversation with you, and I prayed on it last night, and I just kept feeling like I needed to talk to you and get to know you more because I've spent all these years judging you as a person." So part of me was like, "Oh, that's nice, but this is very
He
weird."
prayed on if he should talk to you or not.
He prayed on, I guess.
Like we have something in our religion which is like istikhara, where you pray to find out.
Oh my god,
basically,
you don't
like,
think he was saying that, right?
well, that's the only thing I can think of. But you basically
Yeah, what
like
else?
whatever you pray, and then whatever you kind of like ask God
Is this
to
right?
show you a sign, basically.
Yeah.
And whatever feeling you have afterwards, it kind of, a lot of people do this for
I thought it was for
marriage
marriage
and stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was.
No, it could be for anything.
Oh,
It's not just for.
I thought it
marriage.
was like something you do to clarify.
It could be for a job or anything. Like it's just some sort of answer that you need.
Right. Interesting. He's like, "Yeah, like I just wanted to say I spent all this time judging you, and like, you know, I really appreciate that you're opening my mind to this and stuff, and like just
Opening his mind to alcohol or what?
No, opening his mind to like the fact that just because I don't quote unquote look like a good Muslim, that I am not." And so at the same time, he's like severely offending me, but also like very much
Is this a
complimenting
fact?
me.
Is he religious? Is this a factor? What's
Yeah.
Okay.
So like for years in my head, I've thought of this guy as a don't shake his hand guy. You know how you had a similar experience where like
Yeah.
you went to go you shake a woman's hand and she's like, "I don't shake hands,"
Yeah.
in like front of a group of people.
Fellas don't do that.
Yeah.
And then in real life, it was like wasted.
Yeah,
the
like
GTA
literally
wasted.
the GTA way.
Yeah.
And we all looked at Shamir, and he was just like knocked out.
I will never shake anyone's hand after that.
Right. So that was that moment that I had with this person back in the day.
Okay.
It was like, there's a group of people and they all came in to shake my hand. And then he was on the line and he puts his hands up next to his ears. And he's like, oh, I don't shake hands in front of like everybody. And like in a really awkward.
He said it like that?
Yeah. Like he put his hands up and he's like, I don't
He was
shake
like
hands.
obnoxious.
Or is it because it's
He's
just you?
No.
Because you're out there.
the
Maybe,
No, I'm kidding.
maybe.
Oh.
Who really knows? Who really
way
knows?
the way that
Afraid of cats or something.
the way that I really respect when a guy does it, or a girl, is when they put their hand on their chest and kind of
Yeah.
like bow.
Yeah.
And it's like to themselves so that nobody else notices, right? But yeah, sometimes I
when
do
you
see
like,
where
announce it and like make it all weird. Put your
I don't
hands up
shake
here.
hands.
Yeah.
Me right here, halal boy.
Yeah, I don't shake hands.
I will not shake this haram woman's hand.
Right.
It's filthy hand filled with alcohol.
Like if you even just like did the whole like just like head bowing thing where you're just like like
Respect.
like acknowledging their existence, whatever. I think that's so much more respectful than being like, I don't shake hands and like putting your hands up to show me that you're not going to give me your hand. Like, fam, relax. It's not that big of a deal. So in my head, I've had this guy as this like hand shaking, don't shake his hand, like, and I've judged him in a way too. Like I've also been like, oh, like that's that don't shake his hand guy, like that's a weirdo.
But you had that experience though.
What, like he's too good for you?
No, like what a weirdo that like puts their hands up to like signify that they're not shaking your hand and then announces it loudly like
But
that.
you
So you were just embarrassed.
I was just
Well,
confused. It was just a weird action.
Okay.
She had an experience though. He never had an experience with her to believe that. So I feel like she has some information
Yeah.
to base that judgment off of.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just the conversation just kept getting weirder. He was just like, I just think it's weird that guys will give you respect for weird things, but it also made me think about how like it takes the smallest amount, like the equivalency, right? It's like, oh, he came back and said like, oh, I've met hijabis that aren't as good as you. And I was like, I don't know what your scale of good is, but this whole conversation seems very skewed to me. I really don't know who he hangs out with or what the situation is.
Why do you have to bring that up?
I don't know.
Who cares if you've met hijabis that are not good? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
I think that's his weird way of complimenting Amber.
That's what I'm saying. Is
but
this,
that's
this whole
Okay, that's the
conversation.
point, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Is this whole conversation was him just saying things that were extremely offensive, but him letting me know that internally that I have now not like fed into those things, right? Conversation switches. He goes, so I just, had a question where like, for example, say that, I'm interested in a girl and like, for example, she might wear, I don't know, crop tops. And
You're interested in a girl?
he's asking me now. This is a like question he's proposing to me.
Wait, he's actually saying this?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, what if, what if, like, for example, how would you think I should go about this? Where I'm interested in a girl and, like, I don't know, she wears, like, crop tops, let's just say. And, like, I don't feel comfortable with that. How would I, like, explain that to her without being like, oh, I'm a man, I'm just telling you what to do? And I was like, I think you need to figure out internally why that bothers you so much. Like, why does her wearing a crop top bother you? Like, it's not affecting you. And I was like, but if you can figure out why, and then you bring that to her, and you guys can come to a mutual decision of when does it bother you? What is it bothering you about? Is it like around your family? Of course I won't wear it around your family. That's a compromise, right? And he's like, I guess, blah, blah, blah. Conversation broke off. It went to back in the day how people used to talk bad about me because I wore boxers over leggings, right? And he brings it back. He's like, that's the reason why.
Why were you wearing boxers over leggings?
It was a superhero day, so I wore superhero boxers.
Superhero day.
Oh.
Yeah. And so he was like, that's the reason why. Like, because... And then I cut him off and I was like, Lo kya kenge? Like, that's the reason why you wouldn't want the girl that
What
you're
will
with.
the people say?
Yeah, what will people say? Like, you're worried about what people will say because the girl that you're interested in is wearing crop tops, or the girl that you end up with is wearing crop tops. I was like, if it's not affecting you directly. And then he's like, yeah, I just don't like to, I like to keep things platonic. And this conversation was a mess, by the
Amber,
way.
why are you having this long conversation?
I really don't know, but he spent, like, he came up to me like 6 different times over 2 to 3 days.
Just tell him
like,
figure it out.
We need to talk. He was like, I need to talk to you because your perspective is like interesting to me or whatever. At the end of it, he was like, by the way, like, if you want to get like coffee or something, like,
That's what, just tell him, just start with that.
like,
Do you want to get coffee?
Why would you ask me that after literally
Because he thinks he's
me?
intellectual or something.
Yo, that was the weirdest situation.
So are you going to have the coffee?
No.
Why?
Because you came in to be like, hey, by the way, I've like internally judged you for a lot of years for like being this person, but just so you know.
Okay. Here's what we're doing. You're getting the coffee. You're gonna tell him I'm on. I'm gonna show up.
Okay.
And say, hey, I feel like last time like there was no judgment. This is me without my makeup. Imagine he goes.
He's probably gonna be like,
beautiful.
yeah. He's gonna be like, yeah. He's literally gonna be like, you're even more attractive. Like, what do you mean?
This is where the honesty becomes bad.
Oh, in his case,
In his
I don't
case.
think he's being. I
I
don't
think
think he's being
supplying,
honest.
what is it? Unnecessary information. Like, say
Even
for
though-
example, that
I mean,
fits in a
thoughts of you.
conversation, right?
He was-
Say if it's like, oh, that's crazy. Like, over time I've heard yada yada about you. I don't really feel that way about you. But to approach someone and say, hey, I've had like this judgment about you for years, and I just want to say I'm sorry for that. Right off the bat is weird. And then to bring it back at the end, like, if you ever want to get coffee, like, let me know.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to go about it, in my
Very
opinion.
weird, very weird.
And also, like, at the gym, like, if you're ever listening to this podcast and you ever want to approach me, please, for the love of God, do not approach me at the gym. Like, don't do it in any other way, but leave
Everyone
me
writing
alone
this
at the gym. Like, leave me alone at the gym. That's not the place to do it.
Do you think most girls are like that? Like they wouldn't want to be approached at the gym?
I got that question the other day. They're like, do you think that all girls like that? I'm like, I think it all depends on your energy, right? I think if a guy looks at me at the gym, they can pretty much tell that I don't want to be spoken to.
Okay, so
You can tell, bro. You can.
Yeah.
There's some girls that it looks like they definitely want it, and then majority of them who don't. And then there's
And
guys who are the same way.
it's not about clothing. Let's make that clear. Because you can be wearing whatever you want, and it's not an invitation for you to approach somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a matter of being like, oh, hey, like, can I, like, da-da-da-da-da? It's about the energy that you're putting off. Like, oh, my God, like, da-da-da. Like, starting up conversations.
All of Amber's conversations are half da-da-da and half
Right.
like words.
Like, I think what I'm saying is, like, the energy
Yeah.
is different. It's not about clothing. It's
Some
not about
people- some people do
asking
use
for
clothing,
it. I'm just saying.
but-
No, listen, I'm going to wear a crop top and I'm going to wear leggings, and I just want to make it very clear that is not an invitation for you to approach me at the gym.
You're right. But what I'm saying is the girls or the guys that do want attention will use that as a tool also.
Oh, like as a way? I'm sure. But you could also not be doing that and also be asked, like, giving an invite to be spoken to. You can be wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt and still be giving off energy that means that you want to be social at a gym. But I think that, like, the energy that you give off and the energy that I know I give off at the gym, even though you guys know me, I'm a very social person. I could talk to anybody for like the longest time and have great conversations, whatever. I'm a huge social person. But when you see me at the gym, I'm very much give off the energy of like, don't speak to me. And so that's what I'm saying is if you ever want to approach me and you ever want to ask me out, don't do it at the gym. That is the best way to ruin my day.
Just listen to this podcast if you wanna like
Learn about women.
learn about Amber and what she likes, what she doesn't like.
No, but I think women in general too, because if
Discharge, all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is a great episode.
No, but it's also
You should have shook his hand and been like, "Hey, will you shake hands now?" Why are you? Why?
No, he did.
What you got with the slime on the hand?
So when he came up
What
to
is
me,
this?
he was like, oh, something like, I remember you as blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I remember you as a no handshake dude. I said it straight up too, because he's saying all this stuff to me straight up.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to say it too. I was like, yeah, I remember you as being, he's like, yeah, I don't do that anymore, by the way. Like,
Here's
that
my
was,
hand.
Yeah.
And then you do it to him.
Yeah.
Yo.
No, so that's why when you went to shake my hand,
Whoa,
I'd
we got a
stand like this,
handshaker here, people.
straight up loud in the gym. No, but that's why when you went for a handshake, I just gave him a fist bump, because I was like, mm-mm.
Well, also COVID too, so that's like
Yeah.
2 in 1.
Shami, what's your takeaway for today?
There's a lot to take.
A lot of feminine energy.
Yeah.
3 guys in the room. Mm-hmm. We got
One female, but she's
female.
overpowering them all.
2 digital females over here. What's your takeaway for today?
That's a jam-packed question. I don't even know how to answer that. But
Like, what's the biggest thing you learned today?
why am I getting this question? What's the
Yeah.
biggest thing you learned?
I learned plenty. I told you what I learned. Twitter and TikTok be teaching me all
I'm
types of
curious.
things. But I'm just saying, like, what's the...
Low-key, I'm not trying to sound like I know a lot, but I feel like I've known a lot. Most thing is discharge stuff, like why exactly that happens. Like, obviously I know not to approach girls like in a weird way at the gym. Like,
Nah, you were that handshake.
oh, the
No.
handshake.
Creepo.
The handshake, yeah. Well, I knew that from a past experience.
Or maybe the fact that, like, girls aren't as shallow as men think. Or did you already know that too?
I already knew that, but
Well, Shamir knows everything, everyone.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
he doesn't.
I don't
he
want to
doesn't need
sound
to,
like I know everything. That's
he doesn't
the
need
thing.
to fake his way into an interview. He's got the job.
He's not lying on his resume.
He's honest from the jump on a date.
He's sending exactly what he looks like now, and not that one buff picture you have that you posted in your thumbnail.
That's only in my vlog. I could have posted my Instagram, could have sent it to DMs. Yo, one time. Okay, sorry to.
Yeah,
Do it. Do it.
Along this was like
Last one.
late high school, but I was never like great at Instagram DM sliding. Like that phenomenon is just too difficult for me.
Ooh.
So I sent a really good picture of me in a suit to a girl
You sent a picture of yourself?
of myself.
What does that
Yeah.
do?
Yeah,
I don't know. I just did it. I just
Wait,
felt-
how old were you?
I was like 16, and keep
Alright.
keep in mind,
Did it work?
I've had a bunch of experience,
Oh,
but
shot me.
but in the digital world, we're getting used to like Instagram.
Was this someone you
He
knew?
said his in-person game is fire, but his online game is a little
100%
rusty.
correct. 100%
Okay.
correct.
Wait. Did you know this person?
I didn't know this person. I wanted to get the note. This
And you're
person.
like,
Picture.
picture of me in a suit.
Picture of me in a suit, and then she actually replied, and she was like, "Oh, cool," but my conversation was just dry.
She said, "Oh, cool."
Well, she was like, haha. She thought it was funny. I was like, or whatever. She probably thought it was really
Sending a
dorky.
good picture of yourself and somebody being like, haha.
That's the TikTok situation.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He thought it was a serious thing. It got taken as comedy.
Yeah.
Don't
But
do that.
yeah, don't do that. Don't send a picture of yourself. And yeah.
She was telling me not to do that.
Oh well.
Well, both now.
Yeah, don't send a picture of yourself.
Okay,
What
I
did
knew
you,
that
hold on.
one.
What would have been the best case scenario and when you did that?
Oh my god,
got-
you're so hot.
I had no
I'm
idea.
literally-
Like I was just shooting blanks. Like
It's like, oh, this is a really good picture of me. Let me send to this girl I want to get to know, and possibly she'll holler at me after I send it to her, not just post her on her timeline.
Yeah, I don't
her
know.
seeing on the timeline.
yeah.
Damn,
You could have just slid in with a hey.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it didn't work out. So
She did not discharge. She charged after that.
She charged.
press charges.
She pressed
Oh,
charges. I'm done.
Don't discharge. Press charges.
Oh my god.
That's the slogan for anybody that wants to.
That's like
away
swiping right
from
or
Shimmer.
left, either discharge or press charge.
crickets. Amber, it's only funny when men do it. Okay.
Okay, Frost, did you realize if Mike is still recording, you can only make misogynistic jokes off the podcast?
Oh my god.
Well, let's
Which he
get to
does often.
let's
What?
get that to
Just
let's get to that part of the day where we end the podcast and just
So
do
that
some
you can make more
women slander.
misogynistic jokes?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, we love women here on this podcast.
We do.
We even have an entire one as a co-host, and it's a lot of women
Oh,
to be honest.
wow.
Yeah.
Like
What an
Amber, I
honor.
think you do a great job of like being a woman.
I think you do a great job.
I'm probably gonna get canceled for that. What do you mean?
Honestly, I don't even want to know what you mean because I don't want
I
to
didn't
be
even mean
canceled.
anything. I just wanted to say it. No,
I hope I
this
help
was
you guys. Like, I hope I provide perspective to you guys from a female's perspective by being in your life and in the podcast.
oh every day, all the
Yeah.
time.
Perfect.
I mean, I think you're very unique, but yeah.
His way of saying you weird as shit.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for listening to another Strange Exchange. Always feel free to send in more topics, questions. You know where to find us. And yeah, thank you to our amazing fan base of these strangers. And thank you for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
I ain't trying to hear that rah-rah. You tell me what's best for you and what's best for me. You was hanging out, I was blinded by all that jealousy. I know it's the best for me. You just need time to see. I'm never leaving forever, your soul.